everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we dive into today's Kiki, which is just catching up on everything Vanderpump Rules, the last 3 episodes, and everything in between, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video. Subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because the key is always better with community. And check out our description box down below. Join our newsletter. It is free. You get a free self-love guide. And also check out our self-care and wellness content as well. So, before we dive into the episode review and all of our thoughts, this is from an event that I got to go to that was hosted by Lala. It happened when was the event? It was this week. It was like Wednesday or Thursday night. I can't remember. But this was for Lala's Give Them Lala beauty launch. And then we also had a viewing party for the next episode of Vanderpump Rules. And as you can see, there's Christina Kelly. She's very, very pregnant right now. She looked like she was about to pop. There was Lala who was there. We chatted for a bit. She's really cool. If you want to see the picture of me and Lala together, go to the community tab and check it out. I didn't like the lighting in that picture, so I put another picture of my full outfit here. And then there was also Sheena Shea was there as well. As you see, she was being interviewed by Entertainment Tonight. And also there was Brock who was there as well, and other Bravo lights and everybody. And at the very end, that was my makeup look for the day and my outfit as well. And it was a really super fun event. I see the Vanderpump Rules kids around quite a bit. Way more pre-pandemic, but now that I'm finally going back out in the world, I see them quite a bit, and they're all very, very lovely. They're all very, very, very lovely. But yeah, so with that, I just wanted to share my little personal story about them, and yeah, they're really great. So with that, and also I'll be sure to share more stuff now that I'm going out more, being less of a homebody. When I run into different, Bravo people or reality people and things like that, I will definitely share more of my personal life and my personal journey with you guys. Yeah, but everyone's super lovely. Lala is actually very, very sweet. She's a sweetheart and real person. So is Christina. Sheena's fine. Brock was Brock. I mean, pretty much what you see on the show is kind of what you get. But yeah, it's really fun. And then after that event, I met up with one of my best friends for a SAG party. If you don't know SAG, it's the Screen Actors Guild, and right now it's award season. So I met up with her in Beverly Hills. We had a really fun time. I don't know if I'll post that because I don't know if she wants to be like out there like that. So I have to get her permission, but she's one of my best friends and we always go out together. So if she's cool with me showing her face, I will post photos of me and her out and about. Yeah, in LA. All right, you guys. With that, let's dive in. And I also want to say, just because I have seen these people, I'm still going to give my true, authentic opinion on it, because as we know here with the Candy Cane community, it's all for fun. It's just a light kiki. It's not that serious. It's not that deep. So I'm going to still give my 100% authentic opinion on things. But let's go. Okay, let's get into it. All right. Now, let's start with James and Raquel, Allie and Shorts, and that whole situation, because I have some thoughts on it, and Sheena and Katie and all of that stuff. I think we should start a poll to see when James and Raquel are going to get back together. Like, it is so obvious that they are still super in love with each other. So obvious. Like, you don't fight like that with someone. You don't get jealous like that with someone unless you still have feelings there. Now, whether or not it's the healthiest thing, I don't know. But I still think that they both clearly are in love with each other. The fact, I think he's just using Allie as a placeholder and also as a way to get back at Raquel. Because James was all in his feelings about Peter. He was all in his feelings about Shorts. And he kept throwing Allie in her face. Like, this is a special place for me and Allie. First of all, who talks like that? Secondly, James, your codependency is showing. Like, oh, Allie, when I met her, it was the most magical night of my life. What? You had literally just ended a 5-year relationship, not to mention an engagement to be married, like 3 weeks before. Nobody heals, nobody moves on that quickly when they were not the one to end it. It just doesn't make any sense. What I think James actually needs to do, again, I'm not a doctor, I don't diagnose, but I think James actually needs to be alone. I think, and I really like James. I think he's a good time. I think James is a vibe. I like him. I do. Do I think he said some crappy stuff in the past? Yeah, but I think he's a good person. Like, I really like James. He's actually a really sweet person. But I think he needs to be alone for a bit. I think he needs to learn how to feel complete and whole and secure and confident on his own. You know, I think sometimes people think the option is either go back to my ex or stay with the new person, where there's actually a third option, which is just to be on your own. You don't have to be in a relationship with someone, you can be single. And I think if he took that time to work on himself, you know, figure out his sobriety or his relationship with alcohol, you know, for himself, by himself, and with himself, work on his self esteem of being able to be alone, then I think he would be in a much better place to then eventually be in a healthy relationship. This Allie girl ain't it. Maybe back with Raquel, but Raquel also probably needs to work on herself too. And to be honest, I'm not liking Raquel. This might be an unpopular opinion, you guys. This might be an unpopular opinion. And you can come at me because, you know, here with the KDK community, we can all have our opinions. So as long as you still love me, you can come at me. I'm not liking Raquel this season. This episode, I thought she was very smug, and I did not like the way she was treating Katie. I thought it was very, very disrespectful, very, very tone deaf. And I actually thought that Raquel was the hypocrite more than anything else. I know everyone's like, Lala's the hypocrite. You know, she's the one who cheated with James. I'm going to get into that. Actually, let's get into it now. So I know that everyone is saying that, you know, oh, Lala's a hypocrite. She's saying, how dare Raquel hook up with Tom when she cheated with James when she was with Randall and when James was dating Raquel. Okay. Rock with me on this. That's not hypocrisy. Like, people love to use the word hypocrisy without knowing the definition. Are both of those things, in my personal opinion, wrong? Yes. I do think it was wrong for Lala to cheat on Randall. I do think it was wrong for Lala to sleep with James when he was in a relationship with Raquel. I do think it was wrong for James to cheat on Raquel as well. But since we're talking about the women, I'm not absolving James, obviously. But since we're talking about the women, I'm going to keep it apples to apples, okay? Yes, that is wrong. But it's not hypocritical because Raquel and Lala did not know each other. They were not friends. They had no history. You know, they were not in the same, quote, friend group. You know, James met Raquel, brought her in, all of that. They had no history there. No history. Is what Lala did wrong? Yes. How it would be hypocritical is if Lala and Raquel had a history. Not necessarily best buds, but they had a shared experience in the shared friendship group. Because what Lala was saying was, Raquel, you're wrong because you know Katie. You've been in Katie's face. You've traveled with Katie. You partied with Katie. You've been in a group with us for the last 5 years. And now you want to look Katie in the face and be like, oh, I like Tom, who is literally her freshly ex-husband. Katie is better than me because if Raquel was standing there, if I had known a chick for 5 years, she doesn't have to be my best friend. But if I've known you for 5 years and we've partied together, we've eaten together, we've hung out together, and then you want to sit across from me and talk about you are interested in my ex-husband that I just divorced? Oh, we'd have a problem. We'd have a problem. That's why it's not hypocrisy, because there's apples and oranges. Are they both, in my opinion, wrong? Yes. But the basis is not hypocrisy. It's actually more hypocritical for Raquel to want to hook up with what's his face, with Tom Schwartz. She's actually being more of a hypocrite, since she's so upset that Lala was hooking up with James. Girl, bye. Miss me with it, Raquel. Miss me with that. Like, she just really got under my skin. No, actually, this is where the hypocrisy lies with Raquel and Katie. Rock with me on this, okay? This is where the hypocrisy is. Raquel going to James, and I agree with what Raquel said about Lala. She said, hey, listen, you basically gaslit me in our relationship. You knew I was insecure when it came to Lala. You knew I felt something was off, and I didn't like how close you guys were and how flirty and how touchy. And you would just say, oh, there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to worry about. It's all in your head. You're being crazy. You're overreacting, right? Which is true. She was being gaslit. Because as it all comes out, they did have sex and or were having sex while he was in a relationship with Raquel. So she was being gaslit, and that was dead wrong. Raquel, you're also dead wrong, and this is actually hypocritical, because in this episode, you were trying to gaslight Katie. When Katie was confronting Sheena about the podcast, Raquel was like, oh, you're just, she said to Tom, oh, she's overreacting. We're just friends. And then Raquel said, nothing really happened. We didn't hook up. Like, I don't know why you're getting so worked up. Nothing happened. So you're gaslighting Katie now because her intuition is like, something's up here. This isn't cool. And then down the line, what happens? Raquel and Tom end up hooking up. And then just a couple days ago, Raquel posted a picture of her and Tom at Sandy and Schwartz being like, oh, just because, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So now who is the hypocrite, Raquel? You were pissed at James for gaslighting you because he was sleeping with Lala, and there was an undercurrent of sexual tension. And now you're turning around gaslighting Katie because she's calling you out for the underlying sexual tension with Tom Schwartz. That's actually hypocrisy. Just because two people do something wrong doesn't make them both hypocrites. For it to be hypocritical, it has to be within the same context and the same essence and within the same situation. It's like, oh, you're judging me for doing something that you do yourself. That is what hypocrisy is. Shut up, Raquel. Miss me with it. Miss me with it. Miss me with it. Miss me with it. Okay. And put it down below. I want to know what you guys think about this too. Now, let's go on to Sheena. Now, this is I'm torn with the Sheena situation and Tom and Schwartz and Katie. And what I'm torn by, well, first of all, I think Sheena is dead wrong. I think Sheena is thirsty for a storyline. It irks my spirit when every single scene, it's just Raquel and Tom, Raquel and Tom, Raquel and Tom. It's like, stop it, Sheena. Like, your slip is showing. Like, literally every other word out of your mouth is my podcast, Raquel, Tom, my podcast, Raquel. It's too much. I think you're really reaching for a storyline. At first, I thought that Sheena and Katie got together because you know how they do on the Housewives when they get together and they make up the storylines for the season, and then we always can tell because it's always so fake, and we're always like, okay, so this was a storyline you got together, because she kept saying, no, Katie said it was cool, and Katie asked me to do this, and now she's mad at me. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, did they get together and like make up this storyline? So Katie could have a reason to be mad. Sheena could be, the bone collector, the meddler, Tom and that. But then when I saw Katie's reaction, I was like, no, I don't think this was a made up storyline. I think Sheena is just reaching. I think Sheena's pissed because she was never truly accepted as one of the, quote, witches of WeHo. She never was really accepted with Stassi and Kristen and Katie. Never truly a part of that crew. And then once Stassi and Kristen got fired, then Katie really got with Ariana, and also because Tom and Tom. So I think that Sheena has always kind of felt on the outs. And so she's like, well, if I'm going to be the villain, then fine, I'll be the villain. But I think she actually desperately wants to be friends with Katie. It's that pick me syndrome still that's there. And I think that she's reaching with this. Like, why did you take one thing that Katie said while you guys were in Vegas, which clearly she was saying because she was deflecting from being hurt? If someone's like, oh, yeah, you and your ex and this other girl that you guys are all friends with are making out, you might try and save face and be like, I don't care. Like, I hope they're happy. I wish them well, whatever. You don't take that as a pass to then go and actively try to get them to hook up. And it's also weird that in every scene, Sheena is trying to get Tom Schwartz to sleep with someone. Like, there's one thing to support your friend, and there's another thing to continuously trying to get him to have sex with somebody else when you're claiming to also be friends with his ex. I thought Sheena was messy as hell, and I thought she was fake as hell, and I thought that she was just reaching for a storyline. I'm still on the fence if this is a scheme made up by Katie and Sheena, or if this is just a rogue storyline that Sheena went with. I'm still on the fence with that. I'm still on the fence with it. I'm getting the vibe that Katie is genuinely pissed, and it's not something that they both came up with, but I want to know what you guys think. Yeah, okay, so let's move on to the next thing. What else is going on? Okay, so Tom Sandoval and Ariana, let's talk about them for a minute. Boring. I think it might be time for them to exit stage left, because I'm not invested in Tom Sandoval and the extras and his band. I applaud him for actually paying them, because a lot of people don't pay people. So I applaud him for that. I mean, in the creative fields, they're like, oh, can you just sing or do backup or do this? Can you do it for free? Can you do it for exposure? It's like, no, So I applaud him for that. But to me, I don't know what Ariana and Tom Sandoval are giving to the show. They're kind of boring to me. I don't think that they're still in a relationship. If they are, it's basically just on paper, like glorified roommates. I don't see any love between them. I don't see any affection between them. Even when they show up at the same event, they never go together, and they're never hanging out. They're not touching, they're not kissing, none of that. I'm not buying that Tom and Ariana are still in a monogamous, happy marriage or relationship, rather. I'm not buying it. I think that she's really sad. I think she feels very alone. I think she feels very abandoned. And I think that Tom is just like doing him. He's like, I want to be creative. I want to do this. I want to do this, that, and the third. I'm out. I feel bad for Ariana, but at the same time, the way you lose him, what's the thing? The way you got him is how you lose him. Like, the way Ariana got Tom back in the day with Kristen Doty was dead wrong. She was cheating with Tom when he was with Kristen. And she wanted to play the like, oh, I'm such a cool girl. Everything's cool. I'm just so cool. I'm so different. Like, whatever. Well, okay. Well, then that's going to be your life then, Because Ariana's hands are not clean. Neither are Tom's. I'm not letting the guys off of cheating either, because the guys are just as culpable as the women, if not more. Okay, now let's keep going. What else is going on? Okay, the double date with Katie and Lala. That was so cringe. So cringe. And like, those two guys, they're like the weird, like, those guys were just a mess. They were a mess. I was like cringing for them. It was a hot mess. What else is going on? All right, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Dun, 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 dun. And then I will also drop the link in case anybody wants to come up and chat. Oh, this is another thing I was going to say. I think I agree 100% that Ariana has Tom Schwartz's number. She really called it out. I do think that Tom Schwartz he's the type of person who plays the victim a lot, and he gets other people to do his dirty work. He'll complain about Katie to Tom Sandoval, complain, and then act like, oh, woe is me, blah, blah, blah. And then he'll get Tom Sandoval to cuss Katie out. And then when Katie reacts to that, oh, you're overreacting, Katie, you're being crazy. Tom does that a lot. He does it a lot. He's doing it with Sheena now, complaining about Katie, blah, 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 and then going off. Hey, Miss D says hello, Candy all the Canes. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, Barbara. She says hi, Candy and the Canes. Hey, hey. Hey, Foxy says hello, ladies. What is up? What is up? What is up? Barbara says, you go, girl. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's right, you guys. Hit the like button and subscribe. Yes, yes, yes. Miss T says networking fab. Yes, I was. I was networking. I was on it. Yes, I was. It was fun. It was a fun time. Barbara says, at Foxy, hi. Hey, hey. Barbara says, I don't like Lala. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. I do think that she was dead wrong for bringing up the fact. Well, she was dead wrong to do it in the first place. Cheating on Randall and also cheating with James, who was in a relationship. Dead wrong. I also think that Lala really, I think it's like James said. I do think that if James was a big millionaire guy, he was balling, I think that Lala would be with him. I think it's more than a friendship between Lala and James. I think there is an underlying sexual tension, situation, ownership, all of that stuff. Now, if James had to choose between Lala and Raquel, like I'm just like talking in like hypothetically and everything, I don't know who he would choose. I don't know at this point. But I also think it was a power play. Like, I think Lala wanted she wanted to check Raquel the way she's always checked Raquel. She always wants Raquel to know she's the HBIC, that if she wanted James, she could have him, and that Raquel is always second to her. I do think it was a power play. 100%. Like, why else would you bring that up? You're not that desperate for a storyline because you have a lot going on with Randall and your baby and dating and your sobriety and all of that stuff. So did you bring it up just to hurt Raquel? Just to check her, to make sure she knew her place? And also, don't forget, she said, oh, not this episode, but the episode before, she was like, oh, you're looking good, James. Am I going to have to break up you and Allie? I also think it's a power play over James. I think she likes to also keep James in check because that's kind of an ego boost. When you have someone that you know is like in love with you and it's kind of like your little pet, which is how I think Lala views James, it's kind of an ego boost. Miss T said, next stop, the Oscars. Yes. Foxy says, I don't either, Barbara. She is toxic. Miss T says, Candy rant coming soon. Yes. Hey, Barbara. She's like, can't stand her. She thinks she's the star of the show. Very true. Very true. Barbara says, and hypocritical Lala, let's not forget about her. Miss T says they are so in love. Yeah, it is so obvious James and Raquel are so in love. So much. Miss T says, poor Allie, she will get hurt. See, okay, let me know what you guys think about Allie. I talked about this before. I think she's just weird to me. There's just something off about her. Like, I think normally I would feel like, oh, poor Allie, she's going to get hurt. But when she said to Raquel, oh, it's like we switched lives, that to me just, it made my skin crawl. I was like, what the hell do you mean we switched lives? Who says that? Who says a statement like that? And also, Allie knew what she was getting into. She knew like who James was. She knew that he was just out of an engagement, and she decided to move in with him and have him pay all her bills and be on the show. I think Allie is just as an opportunist as the rest of them are. She wants to be on the show. So it's almost like you know what you're signing up for in that point and that part. Like, I personally would not go into a super serious move in with someone who just ended an engagement 3 or 4 weeks ago? Like, I don't care who ended it, him or her. It's just not a healthy thing to do. I think Allie wants to be on the show. Hey, Daniela. Oh, no, I don't want them to get back together. Foxy says she really does at Barbara. She reminds me of Erica Jane. That's right, you guys. I have to do my Lala versus Erica Jane live. I have a lot to say on that one. Barbara says Allie reminds me of a Stepford wife. Yep, 100%. Miss T says James eating spinach out of her mouth was gross. It was nasty. It was nasty. I agree 100%. It was so nasty. Barbara says, at Foxy, she stands by Erica. Birds of a feather flock together. Does she still stand by her even now? I got to do that deep dive. I got to do it. Foxy says, James should be single for a while. I agree. I agree. Miss T says, Jamie when drinking is a different story. Yeah. Yeah, James. And that's why I'm concerned, because I agree with his statement, but not with him, like that he needs to be sober for himself and not for a relationship and not for somebody else. And I get that, but it makes me wish that he wanted to be sober for himself. Because, you know, I know that there are people who don't have to necessarily be sober depending on their relationship to alcohol, but it seems like James needs to be sober, if that makes sense. But again, I don't know. Miss T says, love yourself. Exactly. Barbara says, I love being alone. Yes, I love it. Foxy says, yes, I heard that too at Barbara. It did not surprise me at all. They are the same kind of women, just different ages. Oop. Hey, Daniela, she says, I don't like Raquel either. Never have. That part. Hey, Barbara, I don't really care for Raquel, but I can't wait for her to kiss Oliver. Yes, I can't wait for that to come on too. I'm excited for Raquel and Oliver. 100%. Barbara says that Fox exactly. He would still be with Raquel if he still had money, no matter what the charges were against him. I agree. I agree with that 100%. I think the reason why she got out was because she realized that the money was fake. You know, it was fraudulent, fake, and he got that $25 million lawsuit against him, and then she was like, "Oh, now we got to be out." Miss T says Jam was cheating with everybody at the start. Yeah, he was. And then in the flashback that they did, he did not look good. He looked like he was on something. Do you know what I mean? He looked like he was, and I'm not just talking about the bottle. He looked like he was on something. James was on one. Yeah. Miss T says Raquel knew. Always trust your gut, ladies. 100%. Exactly. Exactly. Foxy says, absolutely. Barbara, no doubt about it. The same thing with Erica. Miss T says, Lala just slept with James because it was convenient. Oop. Raquel says, nothing happened yet. Exactly. Exactly. See, that's why I'm like, Raquel, she lost me this episode. I really started to see her in a different light. Like, before I liked Raquel, I was like, she's not star material. Like, stop trying to make Raquel happen. It's not going to happen. She's a B player. She's a supporting role. She's not a star. But I liked her. Do you know what I mean? I didn't think she was like mean or bad. But this episode, I was like, girl, stop. Because this is another thing. There are so many guys out there. Why do you have to flirt and make out with, you know, a person who you've been associated with closely for 5 years that just got divorced? Like, girl, bye, Raquel. And the way she was so dirty about it. Like, I could not, like me, myself, I could not sit at a table and look a woman in her eye and be like, yeah, I'm into your ex-husband. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It's sickening. Given the fact that they had a history. Like, sorry. Like, I get Katie's boundary because I'm the same exact way. We can break up, date whoever you want, but you just better not date somebody I know. Like, you better not. That's just how I am. I'm that's, call it whatever you want to call it. That's how I am too. Barbara says, I think Lala would have done it anyway, even if she knew Raquel. Oop, 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 oop. Danielle says, it was so gross the way Lala is bringing it up now, 5 years later. I agree. I think it was a power play. Miss T says, Raquel knows how Katie feels. 100%. Daniela says, at least James never said anything. He could have destroyed Lala's money for fake love and a baby situation. He had, if, had he said anything, it would have been labeled a jerk for spilling the beans. I agree. And you could also tell that James still didn't want anything to come out. He still was like, why are you saying this? Please don't say this. Like, he still wanted the secret to be kept. Miss T says they're using each other's to piss each other off. Yep. They are using others to piss each other off 100%. 100%. And the best way to get back at an ex who's trying to make you jealous is to be unbothered by the situation. Like, okay, good. I hope you're happy. Whatever. Anyway, back to it. What? Like, that's the best way to do it, is to be unbothered by the situation, because they're trying to get a rise out of you. You know, they're trying to piss you off. Foxy says, that's really mean and cruel of Raquel to do to Katie. I agree. Miss T says, Sheena is just ghost producing like Giselle. 100%. 100% Sheena is like the new Kyle. You know? Oh, you said this and this and this, and he said, and what about this? And it's like, girl, stop. Focus on your little wedding to your, you know, your little hubby who is basically using you for money, in my personal opinion. But let's keep going. Foxy says, I'm getting tired of Sheena. She is definitely too messy. I agree. Hey, Daniela. I'm sorry. Hey, Daniela. She goes, I'm on Sheena's side with this one. Katie left the marriage and told her she wouldn't care if Tom moved on. Don't say things you don't mean and you won't get upset. See, I think she was more saying, like, you know, he can move on and that's fine in the moment. And we have to have a level of emotional intelligence, right? Like, you have to be able to understand that someone who is in a position who might still be hurting, who might still be upset, who might feel embarrassed, are saying something in order to protect themselves or to save face. It takes an emotionally intelligent person to discern the situation, you know, read the room. Obviously, Katie was not being like, hi, Sheena. Yes, can you please have Tom Schwartz, who I just got divorced from? Yes, please hook him up with Raquel, who I've known for the last 5 years, and force them to have sex with each other, because that's what I want. Like, come on. Sheena was dead wrong. She was dead wrong. And Sheena knew exactly what she was doing, because she said it multiple times. Because people always tell themselves, she was like, oh, it's not like it's not like I have this like manipulative brain and I'm trying to do all this stuff. Well, the fact that you thought about it means you did it. Sheena was dead wrong. Daniela says, plus Tom cheated their entire marriage. Who cares what he does now? I think if you were the one being, and I don't mean you personally, Daniela, I mean in general. I think that if you're in a marriage and your husband has cheated on you throughout that marriage, and then you get divorced, and the next person he is hooking up with is a woman you've known for the last 5 years who's been in your close circle, that's adding salt to the wound. That's worse. That makes it even worse, not better. And also, just because you break up with someone doesn't mean you stop loving them. Doesn't mean that it doesn't stop hurting. That's why people need time. You know, you can say this marriage is not working and still be emotionally invested in a person, you know? Foxy says, I think Katie meant she was fine with moving on with random women, but not with her friends. Exactly. Barbara says, Sheena is Tom's friend, not Katie's. But Sheena pretends like she's Katie's friends. We're going to be here to support Tom and Katie. Blah, 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 blah. You know, Katie and I were talking about it in Vegas. She's not being Katie's friend, but she was fronting like she was. Foxy says, Tom, moving on. Daniela says, once you break up with someone, you can't dictate who they date. You can't dictate who they date, but you can have healthy communication and say, hey, listen, this is a boundary I'm setting. And obviously, people always have the right to either respect your boundary or disrespect it. And Tom chose to disrespect it. And then she can say, well, since you disrespected my boundary, well, then we're no longer friends. We're no longer doing that. But I don't think there's anything wrong with being honest about your feelings. Hey, listen, we just got divorced. Could you not sleep with the people I have to look at every single day? Could you not sleep with the people that we've been, you know, hanging out with for the last 5 years in very intimate settings? These are people who have traveled together. They work together. They socialize together. You know, I get it. I'm Team Katie on this one. Because just for me, just being a human being, it has to really hurt that you were in a marriage with a guy who did cheat on you, who did disrespect you, and then you get divorced. And the one thing you ask of him is to respect me enough not to hook up with women that are in my face every single day. And he turns around and that's exactly what he does. I feel really bad for Katie. And Katie and Sheena may not be BFF, but Sheena is dead wrong. Dead wrong. She did not have to go out of her way. And then that's also another thing. Sheena could have got Tom Schwartz to hook up with anybody, but she chose somebody in their circle. Come on. Come on. Daniela says it sucks, I'm sure, but that's life. Oh, that's right. I dropped the link in case anybody wants to join. No pressure. Miss T says, Tom always acts like he doesn't understand. Yeah, Tom throws the bomb and then he hides his hand and acts like he's confused. When it's like, Tom, boo-boo. Tom, come through. Like, we're on to you, Tom. Foxy says, if James had the money and the fame, I think Lauren would be with him. Yes, Lauren from Utah. 100%. If James had money and influence and power and X, Y, and Z, if James could be a come up, 100%. Miss T says, Lala and James have always been too close. Yep. Miss T says, Lala doesn't like Raquel. She doesn't. I think this is the thing. I think low key, Lala feels threatened by Raquel. That's why she feels the need to continuously exert her power over her. You know, you only exert your power over someone if you feel threatened by them in a certain way. In this particular situation, I think. Foxy says that was a dig. Yep. I still think Fox says, I think she still does, Candy. She thinks Rinna is so cool too. Ugh. Hey, artist says, hello, Candy. Hello, everyone. Hit the like and share the love. Yes. And Miss T says, Randall is broke now too. Oh, wow. Yup. That's why she left him. Because the money no longer resided there. Miss T says, Raquel, go back to Peter. Peter was so gross to me. Peter is so gross and slimy. So gross and slimy. Barbara says, I'm really enjoying the show this season. Last season, I didn't make it through one episode. Barbara, I agree. I'm really liking this season, and I didn't watch last season either. And I'm kind of excited that there hasn't been any Charlie. You know? Like, I don't know what they were thinking with Charlie. Foxy says, yes, it's better this season 100. Yeah, Misty says the season is good. I agree. Barbara says, oh, yes, it is. Foxy says, do you think it'll be another season of Vanderpump Rules? I think there will be after this. Because I think that this season's doing really well, and it's really interesting. Barbara says, at Foxy, yes, the ratings were over 1 million viewers this year. Yep, Barbara says, I think 1.7. Exactly. Foxy says, oh, wow, that's great, Barbara. Happy for Lisa. Vanderpump, me too. Yeah, I love Lisa. I love how she came in and was like, James, do you know about the dog? Oh, oops, my bad. James crying over that dog. James, you weren't crying over the dog. You were crying because you missed Raquel. And it's okay. It's okay. You can miss her. It's fine. Daniela said, I will feel bad for Katie if she didn't know what she was getting into with Tom. He treated her like trash their entire relationship. Expecting to respect her now is just not realistic. I agree that she definitely knew what she was getting with Tom. But I don't think that takes away from the fact that it hurts. You know, we're all humans. And, you know, I don't know. I think I'm just really empathetic towards people in this situation. I don't know why, but like, I just think that, yeah, you know, he never respected you. Oh, blah, blah, blah. We get it. All of the red flags. But it doesn't take away from the fact that it still really hurts. You know? And we're all human. So I don't know. I'm Team Katie on this one. I feel really bad for her. Daniela said, I agree. Lala feels threatened by Raquel. Yup. She's a nice, sweet version of Lala. Plus, she went to college. What happened to Raquel teaching kids? That part, Daniela. That part. Foxy says, if you have to threaten your man that he will leave him if you don't ask you to marry him, it's the wrong man you are with. Oop. Oop, 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 oop. Yep. Well, I don't think that Raquel I don't think Raquel threatened James that she was going to leave if he didn't propose. She said that she was going to leave him if he didn't get sober. And that I'm okay with. I agree. If you have to threaten for a proposal, that might be a problem. But I do think it's okay to say, hey, listen, I'm not going to stay in this relationship as long as you are an addict, whether you're addicted to alcohol, booze, whatever the case may be, X, Y, and Z. So if you get clean and sober, I'm willing to ride this out with you. But if you're not going to get clean and sober, then I need to exit stage left. I think that's what she said. She said, if you don't get clean and sober, then I'm moving on. I don't think she said you have to propose to me and then I'm going to move on. Okay. Foxy's laughing. Miss T says, James cried for that dog. Foxy says, no, I meant Katie and Tom Candy. Ah, gotcha. Yeah. I mean, I get it, you guys. I agree with you. I know Katie knew what she was getting with Tom. I get it. But my heart still goes out because I do think she still was really hurting. And I think you want to believe that people can change. You want to believe that people can mature and grow, because there are some people who in their early relationships, have had problems, disrespect and cheating. And then the people have gotten their stuff together and they have a healthy relationship going forward. Doesn't happen all the time, but it's not unheard of. If you talk to the majority of people in relationships, they've had rough patches. Again, I agree. If you have to force someone to marry you or an ultimatum to get married, that's a really bad sign. I agree. Hey, Daniela. She goes, Katie deserves better. She should cut Tom out completely for a while. It's going to keep hurting the more she sees him. She needs to live her best life without him. 100%. 100% I agree. Because them trying to have this conscious uncoupling and they're going to stay best friends after the divorce isn't going to work. Until you truly get the person out of your system, until you truly move on and you heal from it, it's really hard to be like, I'm going to be BFFs with my ex like the next day. I agree 100%. And you're right. Katie does deserve better. She does. Tom has always disrespected her, and I feel bad and my heart goes out to her, and I'm actually really excited to see Katie on her own this season, because unfortunately we've really only seen her through the lens of her being with Tom. And like we said, Tom does that. He badmouths Katie, he cheats on her, he disrespects her, and then when she retaliates or reacts to it, then it's, oh, crazy Katie, you're overreacting, tequila Katie, and blah blah blah. How can she really be happy and be who she is when she's babysitting a man who throws tequila on her face, who is cheating on her, who low-key calls her fat, who completely chooses his best friend and everybody else above her? It's like they said in the episode before. He was like, oh, I don't want you to think I chose this restaurant over you, i.e., I chose this restaurant over you. Because anytime somebody says, I don't want you to think, it means this is what actually went down. And then she said, and she was crying, she said, you chose a lot of things over me. And that's the truth. When has Tom Schwartz ever chosen Katie? Ever. He hasn't. And I agree with you, Daniela. She deserves better and she should cut him out. 100%. But she also needs to cut out Raquel. Because if I was Katie, Raquel, you're dead to me. And so would Sheena be. Sheena would also be dead to me. You can call me petty. You can call me whatever you want. I'm very self-aware. I know myself. If I was chilling with a chick for 5+ years in my face, acting like we're cool, and then I get divorced from a person who was cheating on me and was disrespecting me, and you turn around and you try and get with him, you're dead. You're dead to me. And then you want to act like you're my friend. I'm talking to you, Sheena. And you're trying to get my ex to have sex with somebody I know. You're also dead to me. Miss me with the BS. Nope. No way. Okay, here we go. Foxy says, I was rooting for them, but something was lacking between them. Yeah, passion, love. I think they just became friends. It seemed more like a brother-sister dynamic than anything else. And Katie was like, oh, your D doesn't work and all that stuff, and how they weren't having sex. Foxy says Tom Schwartz is really immature for his age. Yeah, and he's very conniving. He's very sneaky. Very sneaky. Daniela said, I've only rooted for Tom and Ariana despite how they got together. They just work for whatever reason. Yeah. Do you think they're happy now though? Like, do you really think Ariana and Tom Sandoval are happy now? Like I haven't seen a scene with the two of them in it together for more than like a second. And if they are in the scene together, they don't seem to be lovey. They don't seem to be any of that. Like, why? And plus, why is Ariana going to every single event with Katie? Even events that Tom's are at. It's weird. It's weird. And they don't even really interact. And they even said it. They're like two ships passing in the night. Barbara says, I had to step away for a minute. I practically hung up the phone on the person. I'm busy now. Barbara, I love you. Foxy's laughing too. Miss D says, Tom and Tom need to work on that bar more. Yup. Yup. And that whole Daily Mail thing. Why are you having a party with the Daily Mail if you're not opening? That's such a missed opportunity and it's going to make you look crazy. Oh, let's have a huge party with the Daily Mail, but yet our doors are still closed. You can't actually buy anything. We're not open. I need to pop by Sandy and Schwartz. I need to pop by there and see what the deal is. Do you guys want me to do that? I could do some undercover reconnaissance. I'll go to Sandy and Schwartz and report back. Is it actually open? How is the food? How are the drinks? I should pop by there. But wait, where is it though? I don't even know where it is. If it's in some weird place, I'm not going. Barbara said, at Foxy, I'll do the rewatch. I always do anyway. Yay. Fox says, oh, goody. Barbara says, oh, love it, love it, I love it, I love it. Foxy says, they don't seem happy at all. I agree. I agree. They don't seem happy. They don't seem like they're together. And it seems like a lot of their relationships are falling apart. I wonder what the situation is between Tom and Tom. Because I heard that Tom Sandoval was going to start his own LLC, which to me seems like he's trying to do his own business without Tom Schwartz. So I'd be really interested to see what that situation is looking like. Barbara says, no, I don't think Ariana and Tom are together. I don't either. I don't either. A Vixen Forever says Tom and Ariana are dry. They can exit stage left. Not that I have anything against them, which I don't, but they're boring. They're boring. Wait, you guys, give me 2 seconds. I have to run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I was trying to hold it, but I was like, I just gotta go. Okay, so A Vixen Forever says Tom and Ariana are dry. April Morgan says, I think she won't, Katie. Oop. Foxy says, I think they're in an open relationship. See, this is the thing. I agree that I think they're in a quote open relationship, meaning like they can do whatever. But I don't think that the two of them are actually happy together anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think you can have an open relationship and be happy as a couple and just, whatever lifestyle you choose, there's no judgment here. Choose you, be happy. But I don't think that Tom and Ariana are happy together. That's what I think the problem is. Whether you want to be monogamous, whether you want to have an open marriage, whatever. I just don't think the two of them are actually happy. Hey, Daniela. She goes, I think Tom and Ariana are happy. Relationships look different. I think Ariana goes with Katie, so she's not alone. Aw, that's actually a really good point. That, she goes with Katie, so Katie isn't alone. But couldn't Katie join her and Tom? Because you know what? This brings up another good point that I forgot to mention earlier. A really good point. How I know Sheena is scheming. and why Sheena's slip is showing. This brings up a really good point. So remember when they were all getting together to go to Tom Sandoval's gig, Tom Sandoval and the most extras, whatever the hell it was, and Ariana was like, "Oh, Sheena, like, what are you doing for? How, like, when are you gonna go? How are you gonna pregame?" And Sheena was like, "Oh, well, me and Brock are gonna pregame at Tom Schwartz, and I invited Raquel." And Ariana was like, "Wow, that seems like a double date." And then Sheena was like, "Yeah, like you and Katie can't come." Like, why couldn't? And then Sheena was like, "Oh, I just wanted to make sure my friend didn't come alone. I wanted to make sure Raquel had someone to come with." But why couldn't Katie and Ariana come? And they could all pregame together and they could all get ready together and they could go there as a group. That's how you know Sheena was scheming. Nobody was like, Raquel can't come. She has to go show up by herself. Why couldn't they get together as a group? Especially because Katie and Tom at this particular time were cordial. It shouldn't have been a problem, her coming, especially in a group setting. They're cordial, they're still talking, whatever. Why couldn't Ariana and Katie come? You see what I'm saying? Sheena purposefully was trying to make it a double date with her and Brock and Tom and Raquel. 100%. Hey, Barbara. Barbara says, I heard something about them a while ago, but I can't remember. There was that rumor that Tom and Ariana were each other's beards. That they both were, I don't know what the word is, but they both were sexually, I don't know, not straight or whatever. I'm trying to be respectful and I don't want to overstep or anything like that. And they were basically, oh no, they both were in the closet. That's basically what it was. So yeah, I'll say in the closet because I want to be as respectful as possible. Yeah. Miss T says, is the bar open yet? I don't know. I'm after this live, I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna Google where they are, and I'm gonna go there, you guys. I'm gonna go there. Barbara says yes and take pictures. Yes, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna figure out where this bar is. Let me look it up right now, actually. Sandy and Schwartz. Okay, so Schwartz and Sandy's. I keep saying it wrong. Schwartz and Sandy's. Apparently, it is open. It's closed on Sunday, Mondays, and Tuesdays. It's open Saturday. It's open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays starting at 5 p.m. So basically for like happy hour through dinner. How are they making money being closed 3 days a week? And then they miss the brunch and the lunch crowd? Huh. The address is 1917 North Bronson Avenue. That's like WeHo / Hollywood area. That's not really the area for me personally. It says the dress code is business casual. Okay. It's very psychedelic. It's very giving like 1960s, 1970s vibe. You kind of went on a shrooms. I don't know. You guys look it up. It's schwartzendsandys.com. But I'll go sometime. I'll go. Vicky S says they should have never got married. I felt like Katie pushed for it and you never should have to do that. I know. Foxy says, yes, do that, Candy. I will. If I find myself in that area of town, I'll do it. I don't really like that area. I don't like the Hollywood area. It's very not cool. The Hollywood area is very weird. But I have to look it up and make sure it's in that Hollywood area. But we'll see. Foxy says, right, Vicky. Barbara says, I heard Tom and Tom are not getting along, not even speaking. Yeah, I heard the same. Hey, Housewives Hunter says, hi, everyone, just hopping in. You're welcome. Foxy says, they are definitely a boring couple. Agree, Candy, right? It's like, they are stale. Housewives Hunter says, hey, Candy, did you hear that rumor that Tom and Ariana don't live together and he's had another girlfriend that he's been living with, etc., for some time now? Listen, I didn't hear it, but I believe it. I believe it. They don't seem like they're together in any capacity anymore. And Ariana just seems really sad to me. And I feel bad, you know? Do I like the way she got with Tom Schwartz? No, but you know, it's not like Kristen Doty was an angel either. But yeah, it just Ariana just seems really sad to me. She seems really sad, really down, and Tom seems completely checked out. Like he doesn't care. Checked out of the relationship and everything. But I wonder what they're going to do with the house because don't they both own the house? Guess they could just, you know, sell it and liquidate or buy somebody out. Hey, Barbara says, hi, Housewife Hunter. Housewife Hunter says, maybe that's why they act like they aren't a couple because they aren't anymore. LOL. Yeah. Yeah. But that's the thing, though. Now they're pulling a Robin and Juan. If you are no longer together, then you need to not be together on the show. You gotta address it. You can't just act like you're not together, but then say you are together. You know, that's a Robin in a Juan situation. If you're not together, Tom and Ariana, you have to say it and address it on the show. It has to be a conversation. It has to be addressed. Because on this show, they're fronting like they're still a couple. Even though I haven't seen them touch or kiss or interact or even speak. Hey, Daniela, they may be a boring couple, but if that's what's worked for them, that's what works for them. Vicky says, at Foxy, it's never a good sign. Nope. Foxy says, Tom got a side dish. Oop. Miss T says, Ariana doesn't film with anyone. Oh, man. Oh, man. Her and Katie. Foxy says, so true at Vicky. Foxy says, I think Tom wants kids someday. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a big thing. And that's another thing, though. Like, if you're no longer compatible and you're no longer together, like again, like just say that. Just, you know, shame the devil and tell the truth. You know what, guys? Ariana and I, we did our best. The relationship like no longer works out, and you could still be on the show. It's not a requirement that you were in a relationship to be on the show. Hell, on Housewives, it's not a requirement to even be married. And it's called Housewives. So you sure as hell don't need to be in a relationship on Vanderpump Rules. Just be honest. Housewives Hunter says they sent affectionate to each other. Barbara says Tom and Katie don't like each other. I mean, at this point, if I was Katie, I would say deuces. Daniela says, I don't think Katie likes Sandoval that much. Oh, 100%, Daniela, 100%. Because again, I think Schwartz would complain about Katie to Sandoval. And when Sandoval and Schwartz were friends, Sandoval would then want to protect Tom. Remember, he was like crying and be like, he's like in a battered relationship. And it's like, Tom, shut up. Just stop. You know what I mean? Like, Tom Schwartz is a grown man. He can take care of himself. So I think that Schwartz created this drama triangle where he would talk to Sandoval, complain about Katie, make her the bad guy, and then Sandoval would think that he had to defend, you know, Schwartz and go after Katie. And Katie's kind of like, what the hell? Like, isn't he my husband? Isn't he my boyfriend? Why are the two of you in a closer relationship than he and I are in? So, yeah, you know, I'm really surprised this season, but I'm just like, I'm really team Katie this season. I'm really team Katie. And I'm really excited to see her without Tom. Because Katie's personality in the past has been a little less than shiny, let's say, a little less than stellar. But I think that without being in Stassi's shadow and without being in Tom's shadow, I'm really liking Katie. Barbara says Tom Sandoval. Hey, Housewives Hunter, I think they all aren't friends anymore, but they're faking it for a paycheck and hope for a fame. That part. 100%. 100%. And when did Lala and Katie become such good friends? Oh, that's right. When they were the last two left standing after Stassi and Kristen got fired. Hey, Miss T, Ariana did not want to pregame with them. Oh, Ariana did want to pregame with them. That's right. That's what I'm saying. Exactly, Miss D. Ariana, she wanted to pregame with Sheena and Brock and Tom and Raquel and all of that. And Sheena was the one who shut it down. But then she wanted to lie and say, oh, I didn't want Raquel to show up by herself. That's why I invited her. Well, she wouldn't have shown up by herself. She would have shown up with the entire group rather than a double date. So, Sheena, that's why we know your slip is showing. If you want a storyline, Sheena, talk about your own life. That's what I don't like about the messy boots people. If you're going to be this hella messy, trying to pit Katie against Schwartz, trying to pit Raquel against Katie, you're going in there trying to mess stuff up, but yet you're not talking about anything in your life. How's parenting going with Brock? What does that look like? Have you met his kids yet? Has your daughter met her half siblings yet? What happened with his DV situation with his ex? Is he paying child support? Is he paying half of your mortgage or your rent, whatever you have going on? Who pays for your house? Did he pay you back for the loan you gave him? What's going on there? So that's what I don't like about people who are super messy like that, like Giselle's and Rinna's and Kyle's, where they have the smoke for everybody else's situations, but they're not talking about what's going on with them. Hey, Foxy. Foxy says, they never did at Barbara. The hate between them was real. Yep. Barbara says, Daniela didn't really like each other. Yep. Daniela says, with Stassi gone and Lala sober, Katie's options are limited to basically Ariana at this point. Oop. Hey, the Court of Public Opinion. What's up? Thank you so much for being a channel member. I appreciate that. This is Candy and Candy Canes. Hey, beauties. It's me, Reed Deeply. LOL. I changed my name because LOL. Oh, hey, Reed Deeply. What is up? What is up? Thank you for joining us. Yes, Foxy says, hey, the Court of Public Opinion. Yes. Barbara says, exactly. They had a lot of fights. The Court of Public Opinion says, hey, Foxy. Yes. Housewives Hunter says, hey, Barbara, I think I read that rumor on Bravo in Cocktails. Yes. Yes. Hey, Foxy, they could not stand each other. Yep. The Court of Public Opinion says, didn't Lala and one of the girls hook up too? I forgot who. Yes, Lala and Ariana. Remember? Lala and Ariana, I think they hooked up in somebody's car or something like that. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was Lala and Ariana because Ariana came out as bisexual. I don't know if Lala has, but she always references to like hooking up with girls. Barbara says, yes, Candy, that's what I heard. Both are in the closet. That's what I heard. Yep. Vicky says Swartz and Sandy's is in Franklin Village and open nights only. I drove past it the other day. We'll have to check it out. Yes, Vicky, check it out. Hey, Barbara at Foxy. Foxy says the Court of Public Opinion. Ariana and Lala hooked up in the past. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Hey, the Court of Public Opinion, but no one ever calls Sandoval Sandy. Haha, like ever. I know. I think the reason why they named it that was sort of like a dig at LVP because you know how LVP has Tom and Tom? I think that's why they used their last name, Sandy and Schwartz, or no, Schwartz and see. I think if they were going to use it, to me, Sandy and Schwartz just sounds better. That's why I keep calling it that. Schwartz and Sandy's doesn't really sound right. Schwartz and Sandy's. Either way, the names kind of suck. Hey, Daniela says Ariana isn't in the closet. I thought she said she's attracted to women too. Remember the car hookup with Lala that Sandoval bragged about? Yeah, that's the thing. Lala isn't in the closet. She has come out as bisexual, 100%. Maybe they're saying he's in the closet? I don't know. Housewife says, I'm going to check it out. LOL Schwartz. Yep. Fox says at Barbara. Miss T says open for filming only. The Court of Public Opinion says, right, that was it, Foxy. Yep. Hey, Housewives Hunter and Sandy's, I think this is all for the show, guys. 100%. Barbara says, I don't think Tom and Tom know what they're doing without LVP. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like their ego got in the way where, Lisa Vanderpump, like she said, she's like, you can use their, their personalities and social media, but they don't know what they're doing. So obviously the problem wasn't Lisa being overbearing. The problem was them not knowing what they were doing because even their new person was complaining to Lisa that they had no idea what the hell that they were doing. And it's very expensive to not have a vision, to constantly want to make changes, to constantly want to not, say this is what it is or that's what it is, to not be concrete, to not be very clear is very, very expensive. And that's why they were saying, oh, we're on the verge of like running out of money. And like Ariana says, don't use your own money. They should have gotten investors. Ugh. Hey Housewives Hunter, I bet they have a temporary lease on the sandwich place and the new bar, and it's all based on how the season goes. Ooh, that part. That part. Hey, the court of public opinion. What about Katie and Ariana's sandwich shop? Did they get investors yet? Where is LVP with the big wallet? LOL. Yeah, well, in this episode, they had not had investors yet. I haven't done a deep dive on where they stand today, but in the episode, they didn't have investors yet. And it's smart, why open up a shop with your own money and take on that huge risk? I doubt LVP would want to invest in their sandwich shop. I think she's kind of like, you know what? I got my other stuff going on. Who knows? Hey, Barbara, the thing is with Tom and Katie got married on the show, it was not legal. They did not legally get married until 2 years later. Yeah. Yeah. Again, another Juan and Robin situation, in my opinion. This teases candy is for research purposes. Foxy says, yep, that's right. Barbara says, Foxy, I think it was a sneaky and a fake. Yep. It was just for the show. And they didn't have the paperwork, and then they got married in Vegas. Mm-mm-mm. Hey, the court of public opinion. Ariana will admit she has problems with depression. Yeah. Yeah, I feel bad for her. I feel like she's really not happy. Not happy. Hey, Barbara, I'm not a Katie fan. I always found her annoying, especially when she drinks. Oop. The court of public opinion. Ariana will admit she has problems with depressions. Yeah, I know. Fox is absolutely, Barbara. They fooled the audience with that crap. They did. They really did. Miss T says Tom's a rock star now, so. You know what? I'm also going to see if they're playing in the LA local area. Check your local listings. Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras. Check your local listings. I'll go and watch them if they're around. Hey, the court of public opinion. Sandoval reminds me of one of those CDP guys in the 70s, LOL. Exactly. 100%. Sorry, guys. Double glitch still here. Sigh. Oh, it's okay, sweetheart. You can keep it up. I'll just read them twice. It's all good. Barbara said, yes, Tom wants to get married and have children. He always knew that area did not want the same. Exactly. That's why it's really sort of like we were talking about with Katie and Tom. If you know someone is disrespectful and a cheater, if you know someone does not want to have children, and you want to be loved and respected in your relationship, or if you want to have children one day, then maybe it's best not to be in long-term relationships with people like this. Because you can't control anybody, and people only change for themselves and not for you, So, doomed from the start. The court of public opinion says, true, Barbara. Housewives Hunter says, they're all faking all their relationships. Sheena lives in San Diego now. None of them are actually friends anymore. They're faking it for the show. That is true. Sheena does live in San Diego, and they're renting out that apartment just so she can be here to film. The court of public opinion. In the last episode, it was like a flashback to Tequila Katie when she was crying, LOL. Yep. Fox's Tom Sandoval was jealous of Katie and she of him. Exactly. Hey, Moonchild can't stand Lala or Tequila Katie. They deserve everything they get and some. Oop. Hey, the court of public opinion. A match made in West Hollywood heaven. LOL. I think Katie has a codependent personality, needs that partner. Good for her to stand alone for a minute. I agree. What do you guys think of Peter and Raquel? LOL awkward. I thought Peter and Raquel was gross. I didn't like any second of it. I didn't like the fact that she was blackout drunk and he was taking her home and staying over the night. And then the next morning she has no recollection or memory of what happened between the two of them. I don't like that. I'm not saying he did anything to her, obviously, but just me as a woman, it gives me a pit in my stomach when I hear a story like that, where a woman or a girl is like, yeah, I was blackout and I don't know what happened. That to me, I don't know. It doesn't sit well, especially when Peter was being so gross and so pervy, and it was just really gross. And to me, Sheena Shea can shut the hell up. I'm really not liking Sheena this season. When she was like, oh, well, you were making out with him. You don't remember? Hey, well, you're leading him on. Da-da-da-da-da. It's like, Sheena, are you not paying attention? She just told you she was black out. didn't even remember making out with him at the bar, and then he went home with her and stayed the night when she was blackout drunk. Are you not paying attention? I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. And I thought Peter was so gross. And what a weirdo. She's like, let's keep it casual. And he was like, okay, I won't wear a suit. What? Anyway, Foxy says, I think Sheena is avoiding to talk about her own life for some reason. That part. That part. That's when the people when are real messy and they're not talking about their own life. Mm-mm. Hey, Kathy. She goes, I think Lala and Ariana will hook up if they haven't already. They have hooked up. They have. So they might hook up again. And I agree as far as feeling bad for Katie. And Sheena is messy as heck this season. Done with her now. Same. Same. She says, I agree. Sheena is being messy, so no one talks about her life. That part. Yep. Foxy says that Kathy they did in the past. Yep. Barbara says Sheena is with Brock. Can you blame her for not wanting to talk about it? Hey, Miss J. She says, hey, Candy, I don't watch Vanderpump Rules, but you always give a good giggle. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that. The court of public opinion says if it's easier, you can still just call me Reed, LOL, if it's easier. No, it's okay. I'll call you what you want to. I'll call you what you publicly are going by. All good, all good. I'll respect that. Fox says, not really, Barbara. Housewives Hunter says, I'm not sorry to say I only watched the first episode and now all of it I had to turn it off. I won't give one more view to a show that is so fake. Bravo needs to do better or give it up. Ooh, 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 ooh. Housewives Hunter's coming through. Fox says Sheena is a sugar mama now. That part. Hey, Housewives Hunter. Haha, it's only open for filming. Yep. Yep. Miss T says, now find that sandwich shop. Katie wants a restaurant. Oh, I love it. The court of public opinion says Katie's going to find out it's all work. LOL. Yup. Housewives Hunter says, guys, I love LVP, but I'm sorry it all happens to only the lucky ones. But Vanderpump is old now. She's like a grandma. She's always been of a particular age, as Miss Candy says. But Vanderpump is shaky old. Oh no, not shaky old. Oh. Housewives Hunter says, love her, but she's not the one. She's not who we used to watch her, always wearing a headband, is trying to throw it off. And I'm sorry, I just see it. Vanderpump Rules is done, guys. Oh. Well, if it is, then maybe she'll come back to Beverly Hills. Hey, the court of public opinion. Yeah, Housewives Hunter LVP is my age. LOL. I don't know how she does it. Fox says Vanderpump is not shaky old. Yeah, I don't know if I agree. Yeah, I agree with Foxy more on this one. I don't see Lisa Vanderpump as being shaky old. Shaky old is like Tom Girardi. You know, I think Vanderpump is still dipping it and doing it. House Hunter says time for Lala's filler and ego to deflate. Boop. MP says I can't stand Lala. She thinks she's the star of the show. She also thinks she's better than everyone. Housewife Hunter says, I'm sorry, Foxy. Housewife says, I'm sorry, girl. LOL. I love her, but I feel like I just want to keep her safe and she's fragile or something. I don't know. Foxy says she is a grandma, though. Yeah, but grandmas are of all ages. You could be 40 and be a grandma. So just because someone's a quote, a grandma doesn't mean anything. Housewife Hunter says she is, and that's okay. I honestly can't stand Lisa either, what she was doing with Lisa Rinna did to her before. She taught Lisa Rinna the ropes, but everyone loves LVP, so she made Brandy shoot with Sheena. Not cool. B move. I don't know if I agree with all that, Housewife Hunter. I appreciate the opinion, but that's a lot. I don't know. I don't know. I think this is the thing. Brandy's an adult, and Brandy does Brandy. Brandy didn't have to shoot with Sheena if she doesn't. And the funny part is, Brandy has been violent and cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs with everybody but Sheena. And Sheena is the only one she actually probably had a reason to pop off on, because Sheena was the only one who was actually sleeping with her husband while she was pregnant. And I like LVP, and Lisa Rinna got fired for a reason. Hey, the court of public opinion. I've always been on the fence about Lala. Like, I couldn't do anything for a Range Rover, just nothing. But that's me. Lala's fully open about who she is, and I kind of like that. Hey, MP, when Lala said she's going to be just like Erica and date rich younger men, she forgot to say that they both married older men for their money, and they both were thieves. Bloop. No lies detected. The Court Republican says, wait, she blacked out? Ew, I thought Pete said he blacked out. I have to rewind, LOL. No, what do you call it? Peter only said, I don't really remember, because he was trying to not talk about the fact that Raquel ended things with him. Yes, Raquel did say that she blacked out and did not remember. It was in episode 2 when her and Sheena go to some spa day or whatever it is, and they're talking about it. And she's like, yeah, I don't remember. She's like, I don't know. Like, I don't remember anything. And it was during that same event where they were taking tequila shots and she was really drunk. And she said she didn't remember making out with him, and that she didn't remember what happened when they got home. But she said, oh, he slept on the couch. Well, are you sure that's all he did? It just didn't sit well with me. Housewife says LVP was so scripted. She had great ones though, but she was so contrived. Let's be authentic. Daniela says, I just realized Sheena is giving me Lisa Rinna vibes, the way she has no storyline, it's just being messy, involving herself in the drama. Exactly, Daniela. Exactly. Hate that court of public opinion. Oh my gosh, Barbara, I just caught the Brock comment. I'm dying. Barbara says, I kind of like the show a lot, or maybe I just want to see Oliver and LVP. They got the highest ratings in years. Yeah, I'm excited to see Oliver. Me too. I'm excited to see him and like the whole situation. 100%. Foxy says, I like the show too. LVP is doing well. Yeah, I think LVP's fine. I think she's dipping it and doing it. Hey, Barbara, says Vanderpump Rules had over 1 million viewers. It's not going anywhere right now. Miss T says, shaky old what? Garcelle is a grandma too. Exactly. It's all good. The court of public opinion. I waited so hard for this season. Been fan since day 1. Yes. Miss T says LVP is a glamour for sure. Yup. Housewife says Garcelle is gorgeous. Miss T says Peter was sad he got dumped again. Exactly. Yeah, he was trying to save face. Hey, Housewives Hunters, I didn't mean shaky old like that. LOL, no. XOX, guys, but come on, it's in her voice, and this is heavily edited. Oop. The court of public opinion. Dang, Peter's creep factors took another leap. Yeah. It just didn't sit well with me. It was just really weird. Fox is the court of public opinion, right? Housewife Hunter says Vanderpump Rules sign on for 2 seasons, and this will be their last. And that will be their last. Oh, we'll find out. Hey, Kathy Parker, LVP is awesome, but then again, I'm not an ageist. Ooh, yes with the shade, yes with the shade, yes with the shade. I love it. All right, you guys, this has been so much fun. And as always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend, because a kiki is always better with community. And check out our description box down below. Join our newsletter. It is 100% free. And check out our self-love and self-care content as well. All right, I'm going to take these last couple of questions, and then I'm going to eat some food. Ms. T says, Peter must not have a good story. Why is he not a main cast member? I mean, that's true. Peter has never been like that guy. You know what I mean? He's never been really a part of the gang. He's like a hanger-oner. Hey, Daniela, I think Vanderpump Rules needs a fresh new cast. I agree with you on that. It would be nice to have a fresh cast. And not the ones they got. Not Charlie and all the other weirdos. No, like we need totally brand new people. Hey, Housewives Hunter says, love you, Candy XX. Enjoy the rainy weather. Stay safe. Yes, it has been raining here. Thank you, Housewives Hunter. I appreciate it. You too. Yes, Foxy says, thanks, Candy and the Canes. Thank you. Hey, the Court of Public Opinion says, much love, Candy. Thank you. Much love. I love you too. Much love. Yes. Mwah. Housewives Hunter says, Peter could never get up. He couldn't. He really couldn't. Housewives Hunter says, LOL. Be safe, everyone. Meaning new cast stories have been told over again, and everything is fake. That part. Peter has to be like 50 years old now, still hanging with the kids who are now 30. LOL. That part. All right, you guys, I love you so much. I'm gonna go get some food and stay warm and dry, and you do the same. And like always, take care of yourself and each other. I love you. Bye.
Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram @Candy Washington. Let's go!